Having discussed the expansion of the cotton industry and its origins, we probably ought to talk about some of the nuts and bolts about how cotton is produced. Well, cotton is fairly labor intensive. Cotton actually does well in Texas because as a crop, it tends to do better when it's stressed. It's underwatered and oversunned. It tends to make better bolls, unless it's too underwatered, and then you've got an issue. All right, so it's labor intensive, and it's fairly hard work out in hot fields under pretty dusty conditions. Plus, harvesting cotton by hand, well, it cuts up your hands pretty badly. In fact, cotton bolls have a little 5 points, and when the boll opens, each of these points protects the cotton fiber inside. So when you go to grab that cotton and pull it out, the spines on the dried and open boll tend to be ideally located to catch you right on the cuticle of every finger. And it's painful, and it cuts your fingers up. You always know a veteran cotton picker by how rough their cuticles were and the ends of their fingers. Well, once you get all this cotton pulled from the bolls and put into sacks, those sacks are then loaded into wagons. Wagon loads of loose cotton are then hauled to the gin. The gin is where you actually separate the fiber from the seed. The fiber is known as the lint, and the seed is the seed. The seed is usually kept by the gin and then reprocessed and sold as seed for the next year's crop. So that's part of the payment. Part of how you pay the gin is you let them keep the seed. Well, once your cotton is ginned and you have all this lint, it's graded. It's put into loose bales, and their guy comes in and grades your cotton and tells you what kind of quality you're looking at. He uses an 8-point scale. The absolute best rating that you can get for your cotton is middle fair. Middle fair, that's the best. That's also called fair to middling. So there's an old phrase in Texas. Somebody'd say, well, how are you doing today? And the response would be fair to middling, which means I'm doing as best as I can possibly be. So fair to middling, top grade. The next grade is strict good middling. Strict good middling. The third sort of level of quality is good middling. The fourth, strict middling. The fifth, strict low middling. The sixth, low middling. Seventh, strict good ordinary. And the eighth, good ordinary. So somebody asks you how you're doing and you say, I'm good ordinary. You're pretty low. Now, once it's been graded and ginned, these cotton bales are hauled to buying centers, which usually are towns with good rail connections. And there, buyers buy in this, go out there and bid and buy the ginned and baled cotton. They then take the loose bales to a compress, and the compresses pack it down and pack it tight. That way it can be shipped most efficiently. This compressed and packed cotton is then held in yards and warehouses awaiting transport by rail to market.